So the PC E3 2018 press conference is over, and I thought I'd make a video taking a look at some of the highlights of the conference. Now, I say highlights because there were over 30 games shown, some more interesting than others, and I think it's fair to say that the PC conference isn't generally as hyped up as, Sony or Microsoft's. So I thought I'd just run through and pick out some of the games I thought looked most interesting. So first up we have Satisfactory, which is a game where you are on this alien planet and you must set up your factory. See what they did there? And it looks really cool. I'm generally not into these types of games, but this, instead of, being like this god up in the sky, in a kind of Zoo Tycoon type way, managing your factory, you can, get down on the ground, explore the planet, build up things yourselves, explore your factory. You'll have to fight off hostiles at certain points. There are vehicles you can get in, and yeah, it just looks really in depth, really neat, really like the kind of game you can relax, just play an hour of in the evening. And yeah, as I say, I'm generally not into these sorts of games, but this one really appeals. Next up, we have Mavericks Proving Grounds. Now, this is a battle royale game. But the twist of this one is that it's up to 1,000 players, not just 100. So if you enjoy, PUBG, Fortnite, and you want to go even bigger, then this is one to check out. It's first-person mode, and it's got more of a realistic type of setting as opposed to Fortnite. So it's more like PUBG in that sense. There's a closed beta which you can sign up for. It's powered by the CryEngine. And there's going to be a constant social hub world called the Capital, which is a full world rather than just a map where you can hang out with other players. So yeah, Battle Royale fans, check this one out. Here's one for people who enjoy first-person puzzle adventure games where you've got to figure out a mystery, The Forgotten City. So we got to see some gameplay of this, and as I say, it's a first-person puzzle exploration game where you have to figure out the mystery of what is corrupting this city that you find yourself in. If it seems familiar, it's because it's a remake of the mod and is set to be released in 2019. So this next game essentially looks like what No Man's Sky should have been, Star Control Origins. It's a sci-fi game where you can get in your ship and explore thousands of planets, all of which can be landed on. You will, explore the galaxy using your spaceship. It's an open universe RPG. It will have a single player story. There's ship-to-ship combat. The universe is open and simulated. You can make your own ships, customize them, and you can use mods to make planets and new adventures. There will be multiplayer fleet battles mode, which is player v player ship combat, and you can pre-order it now and get in the beta, and it's set to be released this year on September 20th. Next up we've got The Sinking City, which is a game I've had my eye on for some time. It's a third-person game where you explore this city and try and figure out what's gone wrong, and the real draw point for me is that it's based on Lovecraftian horror, so I'm all in with that. I love a bit of Lovecraftian horror. We got to see a bit of gameplay in the background there, and basically you play this private investigator who arrives at this city and is looking for someone, and apparently the game will have no hand holding, you won't be told where to go. It's up to you to figure it out for yourself, to interview people, talk to people, explore the city. There's going to be apparently a sanity mechanic, so if you see disturbing things, that will increase your sanity, and that will in turn cause hallucinations and for disturbing things to start happening around you. And there will be a variety of creatures that players will have to defend themselves against using a number of weapons like traps and stuff. There will be guns, but ammo is scarce, and it definitely, the idea of the game is more about your investigation rather than combat. So yeah, this is definitely one I'm looking forward to. It was then announced that a number of Sega games are going to be coming to PC, which includes but is not limited to Shenmue 1 and 2, Shining Resonance Refrain, Yakuza Kiwami, Valkyria Chronicles 4, and Yakuza 0, which is set to be released in August. So if there are some old Sega games you would like to be able to play on your PC, then look them up, because they might well be coming soon. We then got to see a game called Maneater, which to my mind was the highlight of the conference. It just looks so much fun. Maneater is a game where you play as a massive shark and you swim around eating people. I mean, what more could you want? It kind of reminds me, I think I'm correct in saying that there was a Jaws game back on the PS2 where you played as Jaws and could eat people, but this looks even bigger, even better. So you can see the trailer. It's an open world action RPG where you play as the shark, and there's a full single player campaign. And as if that wasn't enough, there are shark perks you can unlock, just like an RPG, that will no doubt help you be even more deadly. So yeah, I mean, it looks kind of dumb, but also really, really fun. So yeah, Maneater, I'll definitely be picking that one up. Next up, we have a very ambitious looking game called Stormland, which is being developed by Insomniac Games and Oculus Studios. Now, Insomniac Games, they're doing the upcoming PS4 Spider-Man game, and also did the Infamous games on PS4. So definitely have a history of producing great games. It's basically a first-person, open-world VR game, shooter type thing, where you play as an android, you can fly around, you can climb up obstacles. There's a real focus on fluid movement, which is something that Insomniac Games is well known for with Infamous and the upcoming Spider-Man. And there's going to be this game mechanic in Stormland called the Tempest, which rearranges the world every week. So it'll be constantly be evolving and changing. So yeah, I think this is definitely one to keep an eye out for. Next up, we have a really cool looking noir game set in Paris called Night Call. And basically players play as a taxi driver or a cab driver who ends up getting involved in the world of crime. And it's got this really nice black and white art style, hand-drawn. And yeah, I'm a sucker for noir style games and films, so I'll definitely be giving this one a look. We then have arguably the best looking game of the bunch, Sable. Not Fable, Sable. And basically it's this open world, narrative focused exploration game that kind of reminds me of Journey a lot, the PS4 game Journey, if you ever played that. It's got this really beautiful cel shaded art style. They showed off some pre-alpha gameplay and it just looks absolutely gorgeous, and I was a big fan of Journey, and yeah, this one, just the visuals alone have sold it to me. Walking Dead fans will be interested to know there's an upcoming Walking Dead game coming out, not the Telltale one. This one's made by Overkill and it's very realistic looking. It's set in Washington DC, and we got to see some gameplay. It appears to kind of be Left 4 Dead-esque, if you ever played that. It features 4-player co-op and you must work together to survive the zombie horde, and it's set to be released this year on November 6th. And then fans of Telltale's The Walking Dead episodic game will be pleased to see that we got to see a trailer of The Walking Dead, the final season. This will be the last season following Clementine, who we first encountered all those years ago in the first season of The Walking Dead. And yeah, we got to see some pre-release footage. There's going to be a cool new change, I think, where there's going to be unscripted combat in the previous episodes and seasons. You know, combat it kind of played out in front of you and you just had to hit QTEs in time. But now you'll be able to engage more in combat. It's a bit freer. So I think that's a cool new feature added there. And the story is set after the time jump from the comic. So I don't read the comics, but that will mean something to you. And if you can't wait, then good news, it comes this summer on August 14th. And then last but certainly not least, we got to take a look at Hitman 2. So we had the episodic Hitman series a couple of a year or so ago, and this new game is, you know, kind of following on from that. However, it won't be episodic. This will be a full-fledged game that you can play all the way through right away. So we got to see some gameplay of missions set in Miami. The crowds and environments look even bigger than the previous game. Players can use crowds to hide in to evade pursuers. The sniper briefcase is back, and you can hold more than just your sniper rifle in that briefcase now. Elusive targets are returning, which are basically limited time events where, you know, players have to go after a target that the developers put up in time, and those who pre-order will get access to a co-op sniper mode. So yeah, if you're a big Hitman fan, you'll definitely be pleased by that, and you'll definitely want to look into it. It's set to be released this year on November 13th. So overall, I think it was a pretty good showing for the PCE3 conference. Obviously, there were a lot of other games shown I haven't included here, but these are just kind of the greatest hits, if you like, the ones that stood out to me. As I said earlier, you know, the PC gaming show doesn't tend to have the big reveals that Sony and Microsoft have, but you know, I do think we get to see plenty of kind of gems, if you like, that are definitely worth some attention and definitely worth playing. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed my little curation of games there.